across Africa and beyond.
Hello and welcome to Bridge Africa News Hour. I am Grace Damsa.
BAM News Hour. Across.
Welcome back. So on today's live, we're having a guest that is going to be talking on. We're going to be on our interview session is unlocking opportunities in Nigeria's thriving real estate market, and he's a journalist whose focus dwells on investment opportunities in Nigeria and Africa. He's a culture and tourism advisor, an expert in real estate, agro investments, and equity transfers and management, a consultant to one of the most real estate brokerage companies in Africa, Billionaires Realtors Group, BRG. After the break, we're going to have him live on set.
At SkyMaxi Global Sourcing and Distribution Company, we render professional help to our clients to locate factories, get competitive prices, follow up on products sourced inspection, ensuring quality and express product delivery to our clients. We are your direct connection with fully vetted factories in China. We also mine mineral resources in Nigeria and have the license to export to all the world.
Bridge Afrique magazine, BAM, is the powerful force to showcase your business to the world. Is your advert on the next edition yet? Make haste and connect with any of our coordinators across the world. One Love, www.bridgeafriquemagazine.net.
Welcome to Bridge Afrique magazine's official site, the ultimate link you need in order to understand what it takes to do business in Africa, the land to which all roads in the modern business world lead. Every business sector in the world is rooted in Africa, directly or indirectly. Mama Africa, the cradle of mankind, has always been the source of life and illumination to the rest of the world.
Through this magazine, we show you the beauty of Mama Africa and the diversity of the potential opportunities that await you as an investor, a tourist, or simply an explorer. The core team at Bridge Afrique is made up of young, dynamic African professionals residing in Africa as well as out of Africa in other continents. We work in close collaboration with partners all around the world to bring the latest information.
Our goal is to be a link to an emerging Africa, the new hotspot for business deals and all sorts of investments. In the business world of today, all roads lead to Africa, and we are proud to be the bridge. Relax and enjoy the fun as it wows you with all the information you have never read before.
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The night.
Yayugu Villa et Ligny Amusement Park dans la province de Shandong, en Chine, offre une zone de retraite surréaliste au milieu des paysages naturels. Cette villa offre une oasis tranquille avec des verdures luxuriantes, des ruisseaux cristallins, des vues à couper le souffle et une variété d'hébergements de luxe. Le parc dispose de pistes à roulettes, de diapositives et d'espaces thématiques. Yayugu Villa offre aux voyageurs une occasion unique de se plonger dans la beauté naturelle de la campagne chinoise. Venez vous détendre dans ce lieu surréaliste et ne manquez pas ce cadeau de vie naturelle. Plus d'informations sont affichées sur votre écran.
across Africa and beyond.
Hello and welcome back. So right about now we're going to be having Mr. Femi on this interview session. You're welcome, sir. Glad to have you. Please can you just introduce yourself to us?
Okay, my name is Femi Oguniyi, and presently I am one of the consultants to a real estate brokerage outfit, one of the biggest in Africa, that is called BRG. BRG simply means Billionaires Realtors Group. And we are currently operating from Nigeria. We have offices in Abuja, we have in South, we have in Asaba. We also have here in Lagos. We also have in Ibadan, in Oyo State. But currently, the coordinating office for the operations of BRG is located here in Lagos. It might interest you to also know that I'm one of you as a journalist. So, but I've been, into journalism, particularly in the area of advisories on investments, equity transfers, real estate, agro investments, and culture. So that's what I do for now. And what I want to talk to our captive audience about this afternoon is the prospects and
To know you. All right, now, your work talks about investment opportunity, culture, and real estate. Many international, investors view Africa through a, risk passive lens of passive risk. So, how do you, as both a journalist and an advisor, weave the narrative of Africa's immense cultural and economic potential into a compelling investment case that moves beyond the headlines?
Well, when you talk about the image of Nigeria or Africa, particularly in Western media, you'll be amazed that at times some of this information we get from the Western media are over-exaggerated. But for those of us that are here, and I've also been privileged to travel to some part of the world, we can say, authoritatively that the Nigerian situation is not as bad as they make us to believe, or they want to make us to believe. Nigeria currently is one of the safest avenues where you can put your investment and you get solid returns on your investment. In fact, with less tax burden. And when we talk in terms of safety of your investments are safe in Nigeria. I may want to remind you that in recent times, you see the journeys that have been embarked upon by the Nigerian government to Singapore, to Brazil, to Dubai, and I think in the past to China. And I tell you, foreign investors are having it here. But what would be necessary for us to tell the world is that when you are coming to invest in Nigeria, whether in the real estate sector or in other sectors of the economy, you have to get the right advice. You have to relate with the right people. And that's the reason why some of us are coming up to tell you firsthand what we are experiencing and how well we are doing in bringing direct foreign investments into Nigeria, particularly with reference to the real estate sector and the agro or agriculture-based investment sector.
Thank you so much for that. Now, so I know you're a consultant with the Billionaires Realtors Group. You have a front row in this in the seat of evolution of African real estate. Where are you seeing the most groundbreaking and obvious, opportunities right now? Is it in sustainable housing, commercial hubs, or something different, entirely different from what people are, overlooking right now?
You see, these are facts that you can check on the internet. Nigeria has always been known to be an oil-based economy, but in recent times, given global economic realities, it became very, very imperative for the government of the country to diversify, seeking revenues in other areas apart from oil. Because in recent times, global crisis and other happenings around the world has proven to us that oil enough cannot sustain the economy of Nigeria. And believe me sincerely, you can check on the internet. I know that there's hardly any information that you need about any country, particularly Nigeria, which indeed economically remains the giant of not just West Africa, but Africa. You would see that the next sector where money is being kept is real estate. Real estate in the sense that Nigerian real estate happens to be the only sector that you can keep your money and before a twinkle of an eye, whether in short term, medium term, or long term, depending on what you desire, you realize that your money is coming in 100, well over 300, 400% in terms of return on investment. This is not so if you do it the right way. What BRG represents is that BRG is like, I should say, a security on your investment. There are a lot of real estate brokerage firms around in Nigeria. But what we do here in BRG is that before we embark on any project, whether it is a direct one or that we are having it through an intermediary who could be, an estate developer or another realtor company that wants to do what we refer to as joint venture, we do our due diligence. What do I mean by we doing our due diligence? There's a legal department that handles your brief from the scratch to check any project that you are bringing on the table of BRG and to check the government of the state. In Nigeria, you have, the state control anything that has to do with land, the state and the federal government. So whatever project that we are embarking upon, we ensure that we painstakingly do our due diligence to ensure that the right documents are processed and to ensure that there will not be any form of encumbrances that might endanger your investment. And what that means is that the moment we have you around and we advise you to embark on any project, it is as good as telling you to go to sleep. Why? Because land in Nigeria are covered by either governor's consent or C of O or Gazette. All of these we put right in place before we invite you to embark on any of our projects, whether it is building, whether it is an estate, whether it is a farmland or any agro-based project. We ensure that every necessary document be in place, and more often than not, we have the support of the government, to ensure that the proper things are done.
This what you said that really enlightened me. So now we'll go on a break and we'll continue from there.
across Africa.
If your money is not
and
working,
beyond.
you're wasting your time. Oh. Inflation would eat it up. Imagine you buy a plot of land in an oil palm plantation today, and from the 4th year, you start getting annual returns from the oil palm sales.
Yes, that's correct.
While your land keeps appreciating. That's double income. Rental income from nature plus land value growth. Everyone is making their money work for them in 2025. So are you making yours work? Or is it just sitting there, occupying space in your bank account?
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The night.
Yayugu Villa et Ligny Amusement Park dans la province de Shandong, en Chine, offrent une zone de retraite surréaliste au milieu des paysages naturels. Cette villa offre une oasis tranquille avec des verdures luxuriantes, des ruisseaux cristallins, des vues à couper le souffle et une variété d'hébergements de luxe. Le parc dispose de pistes à roulettes, de diapositives et d'espaces thématiques. Yayugu Villa offre aux voyageurs une occasion unique de se plonger dans la beauté naturelle.
Now, continuing from where we stop, agro investment and real estate are deeply connected through land use. From your expert perspective, what is the most sustainable and profitable model for channeling investment into African agriculture today? Is it through large-scale commercial farms, supporting smallholder farmers cooperative, or tech-driven agri-businesses?
Wow, good question. One thing you should be rest assured is that even human beings don't exist in vacuum. And you cannot exist in isolation of other aspects of existence. Now, the real estate business, the culture business, hospitality business, they all work hand in hand. And I think what is prime here, first of all, is a reassurance of a safe and secured environment, which we have. Nigeria is safe. That's not to, that's not to say absolutely that there may not be some pockets of challenges in some parts of the country. But I can tell you reliably that Nigeria is safe, particularly to foreigners. And what I mean by that is that that as Africans, we are even very, very hospitable to foreigners, even than to ourselves. We have this culture of hospitality that welcomes strangers. Like in Lagos, Nigeria, which is part of the western part of the country, Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun, we have never had any issue that is based on security that could be of threat either to the individual Nigeria or any foreigner. This part of Nigeria is very, very safe. How do we use this to encourage tourism? People that come, on tourism, they are adventurers. They are people that want to travel their world and know a lot about their world. So when you come to a place like Nigeria, you not just come to relax and enjoy yourself, you will also be exposed to lots of gamut of opportunities, which resides in real estate investment, in hospitality, and in cultural promotion. You know, culture is our identity. And our identity is identity of safety. Our identity is identity of hospitality. And our identity is identity of progress. So all of these various aspects are interconnected. The country is safe. When you come, you see for yourself. Take, for instance, I told you, I think recently when we discussed that we are encouraging investors to come and invest in our agro-based, real estate economy. And what we mean by that is that you are not just buying the land, and the agro, investment comes very cheap. Reason being that the cities are occupied. People are here. You cannot get any space on land to do farming here. So PRT, in collaboration with other partners, went as far as Oyo, went as far as Ogun State, went as far as Osun State to procure land that is worthy, fertile enough to plant either cash crop or crops that you can just turn over, you understand, that will be useful for household consumption. And we can't do it alone. What that means is that you are not just buying a land and allowing it to be there. You are buying that land, you are putting it to use, economic use at the same time, and in a matter of time, over a gestational period, the land will begin to, the trees will begin to yield fruits that can last you for over 35 years to 70 years. And that is when you're talking about palm produce, when you are talking about oil, when you are talking about palm crest, when you are talking about Palm City in Shaki in Oyo State, you are talking about palm crest in Ogun State, spread over quite a large number of places like Ilaro, Owodeyewa, Unigbedri in Abeokuta, and Ewekoro, all in Ogun State. So we are into serious business. I can assure you that as I'm speaking with you now, that some foreigners came in and bought quite a large parcel of land. I think up to about 214 hectares that they want to for oil palm plantation. And the good thing about it is that the RG has also put in place a mechanism that will help you to manage the farm, even when you are not there physically. They will manage the farm, and by the time the farm begins to produce, between the period of 3 to 4 years, that's I'm talking about after you must have planted, there's a processing a factory that has been put in place to process the produce that comes out of your farm. All you need to, depending on the plan that you are coming up with us or that you are signing with us, all you need to do is sit in the comfort of your home, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, and collect your proceeds. You don't need to treat the soil. And all of these products are well documented. The land are with title documents, that's certificate of occupancy from the various state governments where they exist. So you are not only enjoying the fruits of your labor or the fruit of your investment, there are parameters by which you must have seen in the condition, the terms and conditions where you are signing with us. The company that will manage the place for you and process for you will take certain percentage, but bulk of the percentage from your profit, beginning from the 4th year, comes into your hands. And the good thing about it is that these are transferable wealth. If you live for 30 years or 40 years as an investor and decide to be demised or you are demised, your children or those that you have put as your next of kin can continue to enjoy the benefit. And if these oil palm trees expire, maybe after a long period of time of about 4 to 5 decades, you still have the land. The land belongs to you. So we call it is beyond land banking. It is serious investment that yield for you while you are still alive. That is as the agro investment, land investment is concerned. Then we also have other products. We have other products that developed estates. We have them spread over in Lagos. We have them in Ibejuleki. And you know that Ibejuleki is the new economic hub of Lagos State and Nigeria. A visit to Ibejuleki, where you have the Dangote refineries, where you have about 71 industries within the free trade zone, where you have the deep sea ports and all others, economic projects coming up there. You'll be amazed to see. And that's the same place that the coastal road that is being constructed by the Nigerian government is passing through. Take it from to Lekki to Ajah, from Ajah to Ibejuleki, across to Oron in Akwa Ibom State. So you can see that a lot is really happening, and it promises, you understand, for any investor that will be coming through your channel to engage us, they will have no regret. Nigeria is the only country where you put your investment and you can go to sleep so long you come through the right.
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The night.
Yayugu Villa et Ligny Amusement Park dans la province de Shandong, en Chine, offre une zone de retraite surréaliste au milieu des paysages naturels. Cette villa offre une oasis tranquille avec des verdures luxuriantes, des ruisseaux cristallins, des vues à couper le souffle et une variété d'hébergements de luxe. Le parc dispose de pistes à roulettes, de diapositives et d'espaces thématiques. Yayugu Villa offre aux voyageurs une occasion unique de se plonger dans la beauté naturelle de la campagne chinoise. Venez vous détendre dans ce lieu surréaliste et ne manquez pas ce cadeau de vie naturelle. Plus d'informations sont affichées sur votre écran.
Welcome to Bridge Afrique magazine's official site, the ultimate link you need in order to understand what it takes to do business in Africa, the land to which all roads in the modern business world lead. Every business sector in the world is rooted in Africa, directly or indirectly. Mama Africa, the cradle of mankind, has always been the source of life and illumination to the rest of the world.
Through this magazine, we show you the beauty of Mama Africa and the diversity of the potential opportunities that await you as an investor, a tourist, or simply an explorer. The core team at Bridge Afrique is made up of young, dynamic African professionals residing in Africa as well as out of Africa in other continents. We work in close collaboration with partners all around the world to bring the latest information.
Our goal is to be a link to an emerging Africa, the new hotspot for business deals and all sorts of investments. In the business world of today, all roads lead to Africa, and we are proud to be the bridge. Relax and enjoy the fun as it wows you with all the information you have never read before in other magazines. Pray along with us.
If your money is not working, you're wasting your time. Inflation would eat it up. Imagine you buy a plot of land in an old palm plantation today, and from the 4th year, you start getting annual returns from the all palm sales.
Yes, that's correct.
While your land keeps appreciating. That's double income. Rental income from nature plus land value growth. Everyone is making their money work for them in 2025. So are you making yours work? Or is it just sitting there, occupying space?
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The night.
Yayugu Villa et Ligny Amusement Park dans la province de Shandong, en Chine, offre une zone de retraite surréaliste au milieu des paysages naturels. Cette villa offre une oasis tranquille avec des verdures luxuriantes, des ruisseaux cristallins, des vues à couper le souffle et une variété d'hébergements de luxe. Le parc dispose de pistes à roulettes, de diapositives et d'espaces thématiques. Yayugu Villa offre aux voyageurs une occasion unique de se plonger dans la beauté naturelle de la campagne chinoise. Venez vous détendre dans ce lieu surréaliste et ne manquez pas ce cadeau de vie naturelle. Plus d'informations sont affichées sur votre écran.
If your money is not working, you're wasting your time. Inflation would eat it up. Imagine you buy a plot of land in an old palm plantation today, and from the 4th year, you start getting annual returns from the all palm sales.
Yes, that's correct.
While your land keeps appreciating. That's double income. Rental income from nature plus land value growth. Everyone is making their money work for them in 2025. So are you making yours work? Or is it just sitting there, occupying space in your bank account?
Welcome to Bridge of Freak Magazine's official site, the ultimate link you need in order to understand what it takes to do business in Africa, the land to which all roads in the modern business world lead. Every business sector in the world is rooted in Africa, directly or indirectly. Mama Africa, the cradle of mankind, has always been the source of life and illumination to the rest of the world.
Through this magazine, we show you the beauty of Mama Africa and the diversity of the potential opportunities that await you as an investor, a tourist, or simply an explorer. The core team at Bridge of Freak is made up of young, dynamic African professionals residing in Africa as well as out of Africa in other continents. We work in close collaboration with partners all around the world to bring the latest information.
Our goal is to be a link to an emerging Africa, the new hotspot for business deals and all sorts of investments. In the business world of today, all roads lead to Africa, and we are proud to be the bridge. Relax and enjoy the fun as it wows you with all the information you have never read before in other magazines. Pray along with us and feel free to comment all your results via this medium.
BAM NewsHour, across Africa and beyond.
Welcome back from that break. Before we go straight into the continuation of our interview, I want to introduce to you the Bridge Afrique magazine, which is coming up on the 27th of this month, and the edition is Nigeria Ghana edition, and it's going to be available on Amazon, so you can place your order. You can place your order on, or you contact the following numbers displayed on your screen. Right, thank you so much for that. Now we'll go straight to our guest. Welcome once again, Mr. Femi. So now, continuing from where we stopped, sir. So as a cultural advisor, you understand that investment doesn't exist in a vacuum, of course we know. And how can an understanding of local culture and tourism trends provide a competitive advantage to an investor or a company looking to deploy capital in, let's say, real estate development or hospitality sectors?
Thank you very much. You know, as a journalist, we have the opportunity to travel our world. Journalists are not particularly rich in cash, but you know, we are rich in experience, we are rich in contacts because we meet different, class and classes of people. And in my experience as a traveling journalist, we have attended a lot of investment forums across the world. That the question that bothers the mind of an average investor is how and where do I put my money? And when I put my money here, is my money safe? Is my investment safe? Once upon a time, we at Addis Ababa, that was in 2018, where we went to attend the AU summit. And a lot was discussed on improving Africa's economy by encouraging lots of internal collaborations among African countries. But the question still stands: if you are coming to Africa and you want to invest, you must meet with the right set of people. And I consider this an opportunity for me. So that's why I will agree with the use of your word organic, that it was a deliberate attempt or deliberate effort that brought us into, covering real estate, covering equity transfers, covering agro business, and trying to marry all of this with our culture. If you would agree with me, palm oil business, cassava business, I gathered from research that the first storm of stick of cassava that were brought to Africa came from Brazil. But today you'll agree with me that our soil is good for cassava. Yes or no? And I don't know if you have ever found out that from from the western part of Lagos to the eastern part, that's western part of Nigeria, to the eastern part of Nigeria. When I mean eastern part, I'm talking about Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, to Edo State, to Delta State, to Anambra, that is the east, to Imo, and other parts of it, to realize that our soil is good for oil palm plantation. And our ancestors, take for instance, I hail from Oyo, although I grew up in Lagos, but growing up, I've always known that one of the ways by which the community, would rate you as a rich man is that you must have cocoa, you must have palm oil trees, you must have coffee, and you must be rich in kola nuts and other variables or varieties of farm produce. So palm oil plantation is generic with the Yoruba people. And that is culture we are trying to bring back. Because in those days, when the colonial masters came, they met our ancestors, they met our forefathers as rich men, as people that were in charge of their colony. Particularly when you talk about the empires, you had a lot of empires in Nigeria, in what has translated to the present day Nigeria. We had the Old Oyo Empire. We had the Ogoni people. We have the Opobo. We have Benin Kingdom, and we have other kingdoms. You understand that the Western world made. And today I tell you, if you check the price of palm oil and palm oil produce, you'll be amazed that it is even more expensive and more profitable than oil at times, than crude oil or oil related products. Why? Because you can, apart from it being an household, consumable goods or stuff that they make use of, it is also useful in the formation of household items, like stove, like a cream, like all other things. And you know, the other name for palm oil tree is the tree of wealth. Nothing on the palm tree that is useless. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Whether from the tree trunk makes one of the best kind of wood in the world. So if you are coming to invest in oil palm plantation, my brother, you won't have any regret at all, because from the day that it starts fruiting, I think the gestational period was like 4 years. And if you are doing oil palm plantation, take for instance, you are buying 1 acre of land at, I'm just citing that as an example. I'm picking from one of our price lists. You are buying 1 acre at 3.2 million naira in Shaki. The 3.2 million naira of 1 acre will house about 60 palm trees. If you are buying 1 acre, which will be around, depending on which of the products you are keen in, beginning from 8 million to 10.5 million to 15.5 million, depending on the one you are coming. That's, I'm talking in terms of naira for our foreign list, and you are coming in. What you are making on 1 acre of land, which is 60 oil palm trees, after the gestational period of 4 years, will be between 3 million naira and 7 million naira, depending on market force. And don't forget that at your entry point when you came in, you are coming in with just 3.2 million naira, and the prices may change. But I'm talking about now, 3.2 million naira to buy 1 acre, which is 6 plots. But after, you know, resting for like 3 to 4 years, it will start to produce. The moment it starts to produce, then you have started collecting your money. The money you have invested, which is 3.2 million naira, you will get it back at your first payment or thereabout. Why? Because the profit they want to make for you is between 3 million to 7 million. So let's assume that the management company that planted for you and monitored it till the close period will be taking, maybe, I'm just citing that as an example, you will be taking like 30%, and you are taking 60%. So obviously from the very first, that's 4th year, that you start reaping or harvesting, you have made your money, which means that for the rest of 30 to 40 years, you're only making profit. You are not making loss. Why? Because the trees are there, the land is there, and it is yours. I hope I'm communicating. Okay. So as far as the agro investment business is concerned, it is a win-win. It is a win-win for any would-be investor. It is a win-win. And if you're also coming to the real estate proper, as you want to buy into some of our estates that we are building in the city, particularly on the Lekki Ajah axis, you can build to come and live in it. That's if you are a diaspora and a Nigerian that lives abroad, you can build, and whenever you are around, you live in it. When you are not around, you can convert the same building to short-let. What I mean by that is that you have your link where you live abroad, or you hand it over a company that will be managing it for you, because there are people that travel into the country that don't want to stay in any hotel. They want to stay in a place that is comfortable. They can come in, they pay you money, and they live in there for the period that they are going to be in Nigeria. And when they are going, they hand over the keys, and which means that you are not locking your flat. You are abroad, you have invested here, your flat is making money for you. And if you also choose to embark on land banking opportunities, we have them in Ogun State, we have them in Owe Ofada, we have them in some part of Ibejuleki, we have them in some part of Ajah or Gombo in Lagos, we have them in Ibadan, we have them in Abeokuta. Once you buy and your papers are handed over to you, the land belongs to you. The land you buy at 6 million, I'm using one of our products as example. The land you buy today at 6 million. Today is the 2nd of September. By next year, the price must have gone up if you want to resell. If you are not selling, leave it there for like another 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You'll be amazed if you want to resell at what you'll be getting back. So there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities awaiting any investor, whether in small scale or in large scale, that want to come and buy into any of our products. You will not have any regrets because all that we present to you have government documents. There is no controversy. We must have done our due diligence before bringing it to the market. I hope you are.
Welcome to Bridge Afrique magazine's official site, the ultimate link you need in order to understand what it takes to do business in Africa, the land to which all roads in the modern business world lead. Every business sector in the world is rooted in Africa, directly or indirectly. Mama Africa, the cradle of mankind, has always been the source of life and illumination to the rest of the world.
Through this magazine, we show you the beauty of Mama Africa and the diversity of the potential opportunities that await you as an investor, a tourist, or simply an explorer. The core team at Bridge Afrique is made up of young, dynamic African professionals residing in Africa as well as out of Africa in other continents. We work in close collaboration with partners all around the world to bring the latest information.
Our goal is to be a link to an emerging Africa, the new hotspot for business deals and all sorts of investments. In the business world of today, all roads lead to Africa, and we are proud to be the bridge. Relax and enjoy the fun as it wows you with all the information you have never read before in other magazines. Pray along with us and feel.
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The night.
Yayugu Villa et Ligny Amusement Park dans la province de Shandong, en Chine, offre une zone de retraite surréaliste au milieu des paysages naturels. Cette villa offre une oasis tranquille avec des verdures luxuriantes, des ruisseaux cristallins, des vues à couper le souffle et une variété d'hébergements de luxe. Le parc dispose de pistes à roulettes, de diapositives et d'espaces thématiques. Yayugu Villa offre aux voyageurs une occasion unique de se plonger dans la beauté naturelle de la campagne chinoise. Venez vous détendre dans ce lieu surréaliste.
All right, now. So investing in land is more than just a financial transaction for me. It's about legacy, roots, and contributing to development back home. Beyond the financial return, how do your projects, allow diaspora investors?
Okay, job creation and shaping the future of the key region. Okay, I love your question. Shaping the future. I love your question. I love your question. Let me take it first from community development. The places we are asking the diasporans to come and invest are places in the past. You understand? Places in the past that must have been referred to as forests. But by the time you start a farm city somewhere, are you with me? You are bringing life to that community. The community will have job opportunities. Because all the people that are going to work, whether primarily or secondarily on those facilities, are not just going to be people from outside. If my knowledge of administration that is anything to go by, I'll tell you that you only bring in the expatriates into that community. But every other ancillary activities that place in that, the people. Hello? Yeah. So the people that are going to work in those facilities will be majorly the community people, indigenous and citizens of that particular community. They are the people that will work there. So by extension, they will be paid for their labor. So they are benefited, and that has helped to reshape and rewrite the story of that community that was once viewed as a forest community. That's one. Then I think that also covers for the job creation. Then apart from that, when you are talking about the gross, you are talking about the GDP of that community, automatically it increases. Why? Because the products that will be coming out of the farm will not only serve the purpose of export, it will also serve the purpose of local consumption. So definitely it is it's like a symbiotic relationship. And when you embark on such kind of project, you don't, like I said earlier on, as a diasporan, you don't necessarily need to be involved because there's a management company that has been set aside and designed for this purpose. All you need is you can visit at any point in time to see the activities going on the farm, because we are appealing to the mass of the people across the world. So take for instance now the company, the Chinese company that bought about 214 hectares in one of our projects. They are not on ground here. And I think they will just have their country director that will be liaising with the management team that has been, dedicated to manage the farm, particularly when the time of harvesting comes. So automatically, this is meant to encourage our diasporans. They don't need to go and give money to any of their family members that will betray them. To go and say, particularly when they want to build house, say, okay, go and build for me. And at the end of the day, they will come into the country, they will realize that nothing has happened. The company that we are presenting to you is a reputable company that is registered here in Nigeria and recognized by law, and I have the backings of the government through proper documentation to embark on any project. So your investment is safe with us. So when you are investing with us, you are already reshaping the future of this country. Why? Because whatever we are also making here will contribute our own quota to the growth of Nigeria. We will also pay revenues, we will pay taxes. So definitely, if the diasporans are coming to engage us or to deal with us, they are already contributing back home to the development of their dear country.
Wow, there's just so much to learn. Thank you so much, sir. So now, finally, what do you have to say about Bridge Afrique Magazine?
Comrade Yinka, telling me to say something about Bridge Afrique is trying to tell me to say something about my own son or my own invention. At the inception and even till tomorrow, I have always been part of the Bridge Afrique family. The essence of the creation of Bridge Afrique is to ensure that we bridge the gap between Africa and the rest of the world. And taking China as the headquarters or the base, you understand, was very strategic, because China is the next big thing happening to the world, whether you want to believe it or not. Quote me. And I believe Bridge Afrique is really doing this. They are really doing the job for which they've been created. Kudos to the management team. Kudos to the MD of Bridge Afrique, in person of my brother, my friend, Mr. Michael Akolawole, JP. Our journey together has been for maybe, let me say, upward of over 3 decades. I say I with all goodness. He is a man of vision, and we have driven the vision together, and it can only get better. Bridge Afrique has the field. The field is green, and I think it is time for Bridge Afrique to go into the fields and take possession, because the harvest is ripe. And conclusively, I also want to drop my contact in case anyone hears this and they are interested for further inquiry. Sir? Okay, good. So you take care of that, you know, and let's see how we come together as partners in progress to ensure that we promote good virtue of Nigeria. We promote the good virtue of hospitality and integrity about our people. And we also bring people on board that will invest and share positive testimonies to the rest of the world that Nigeria and Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Abuja, and other parts of the country is veritable and good enough for foreign investment. Thank you.
Such a delight having to host you, Mr. Femi, as you reveal the opportunities that are thriving in the real estate market. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We really appreciate it. Now, going back, this brings us to the end of our live news hour. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying tuned with us. And this is also a call for advertisement. And like I said earlier, we're having a new edition coming up on the 27th of this month, and it's going to be live on Amazon. It's going to be available on Amazon. If you want to be our client, you want your business to be known all over Asia, across the globe, and Africa, you want your advert to be part of our next magazine. Thank you so much for your time. It's been such a pleasure having you. Bye for now. I am Grace Damsa.
BAM NewsHour, across Africa and beyond.